friends, it's your girl Martina Parker and welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be a treat for you guys. We are going to be talking about organizational tips in the way of accessorizing your home to make your rooms look larger. So if you live in a space that is just a cathedral and you don't need these tips, then I'm going to say mosey on. But most of us live in average size homes to small apartments and we need that advice. And as a person who has been event designing and organizing homes for years, I have discovered some of the best ones and I'm going to share them with you today. So let's go ahead and jump into it. The first thing I'm going to say is don't over accessorize. Just don't. A very wise woman said that, I think it was Coco Chanel, when she was saying, when it's time for you to get dressed, put on all of your accessories, your perfume, layer it up, and then take one item off. That is how you edit a look. And it's the same for your home, whether it's your bedroom, living room, office space, den, what have you. Edit. Do not over accessorize a space. Don't put 1,000 throw pillows on a couch or a bed. Do not add 10,000 wall adornments or wall art. Don't layer 5 and 6 rugs in the same room. Edit and don't over accessorize it. I'm going to pop up some examples that may help you in the way of organizing your room in order for it to be accessorized but not overdressed. Okay, this is the example that we're going to be talking about, and as you can see, it's a lovely space. Gorgeous lighting coming through, wonderful scenery through the windows, a beautiful window shape. I love that arch shape, just gorgeous. But there is something about this room that doesn't draw you in. It almost wants you to be repelled out. And let's go over what some of those things are. So I'm going to start with that back table. And that back table in between the two windows is extremely styled. They have a art piece that is covered by foliage from a vessel and then a smaller stone piece. They have a candle. They have several books. It's just extremely cluttered. And this same example is what a lot of us do in our homes. We'll have a surface and we'll just cover it with the kitchen sink. Every knick-knack or tchotchke that we can find, we just stick it on the table. And what I'm saying is edit your selections of what you want to display down to those things that are the most special to you. Displays can be all throughout your house, so you don't have to just use your living room as or your family room as the main place of display. You can display things in your hallway. I have displayed things in my bathroom. All over your house should be luxurious and decadent to you. And so you don't have to just be limited to put everything on the one table that you have available in your living room. So my suggestion would be, first, I would change out the foliage in the vessel. I would get a much shorter, tighter bloom of floral arrangements to put in that vessel. The vessel is beautiful. I love the texture. I love the earthiness of it. So I would keep that vessel, but I would definitely first change out the foliage. The second thing I would do is that I would remove that other stone vessel, the smaller square one, and I would relocate that somewhere else into the house. I would then downscale the number of books that are displayed, and I would keep the candle, but I would take it out of that lighted fixture and put it lower so that we have height differentials throughout. And you want to make sure that also you're not blocking one of your main focal pieces, and that's that gorgeous artwork. So that's the first thing that I would do, starting with that table. Moving on to the couch, we want a couch that looks loved, that looks comfy, that draws us in. And there's lots of throw pillows on this couch that would do that. However, I think there's too many. And so I would get rid of the rectangle pillow, the bowling pillow. I would get rid of that one. I would possibly get rid of one of the plaid ones as well, and just keep 2 and the throw. I think 2 pillows on this couch and a throw would look really, really nice and comfy, and then you don't have to kick all those pillows all over the place when you're trying to relax with babe. So that's what I would do for that. Let's move on to the side table. The side table is beautiful. I love the lamp It's a great focal piece, and you need light in a room, and you need tertiary light. So you need this. The first light is sunlight. Your second light is lamps, and then your third light could be candles or anything else that illuminates. But you want to have a plethora of lighting in a room, not overdone, but enough that no matter how you want the room to feel, you can achieve that with lighting. So I love the lamp. I love that amber color. I love the linen richness of the lampshade. So I would leave that as is. What I would change, however, is underneath the table there seems to be a box of some sort. I would remove that. I think it's a little bulky, and it takes away from you seeing the clean lines of that table going directly into that warm, rich leather of the couch. Next would be the coffee table. The coffee table is so cute and rustic. I love it. It's a great scale size for the couch, but it's not so small that you can't find it functional. I love that they're doing an autumn theme on their coffee table, but let's scale it back. How about we just kept the tray of pumpkins and one or two of the candles, and then underneath the table again, I would remove all of those books and put the footstool directly in the middle so that you get clean lines and clear views. That's what makes a room seem airy, fresh, and very modern, when you have those clean lines and crisp views of the room. So those are my suggestions. Don't over accessorize. Tip 2 for making your room look larger. It's curtains. Yes, people, curtains, but not just curtains. Where you hang the curtains. Most people tend to hang the curtain directly at the top of where the window starts. That's a no-no. You want to go up. We want to grow our space up, lift the eye up so that the room appears larger, and that window actually gives you the maximum light. When you hang the curtain right at the top of the window, you cut a little bit of the light out with the pole and with the rod, but when you lift it up, it just illuminates the room, and it's absolutely stunning. So here is an example of how to hang your curtains. Curtains should be 3 to 4 inches from the ceiling, but way above where the window starts. So you want to go above that. And as you see, it gives the appearance that the room is a lot taller than it is because you're going closer to the ceiling. You want to always look for ways to guide the eye up in a space, or guide the eye in. And I'm going to tell you some more tips of how to guide an eye into your room. But we're going to first no over accessorizing, and then simply lift the curtains up 10 to 12 inches above where the window starts. Tip 3 to making your room look larger: play with the depth perception of the human brain. How do I do that? You do that with floor mirrors. If you have room for a floor mirror, whether it is a 24-inch floor mirror or whether it is a 5-foot, 7-foot floor mirror, use floor mirrors to give your room a richness and a depth. So this is an example of a floor mirror and how far back it looks like the rest of the room is. It gives it a phenomenal depth, especially when you style something very close to the mirror, like a chair or a small table. It illuminates the room because it's going to throw that light that's natural or iridescent or condensate, whatever lighting you have in your room. It throws it back and reflects it because it's a mirror. So it's already giving you depth perception in that way. Secondly, it's going to give you that depth perception when you put something small beside it, like this gorgeous little chair. And the more I look at that chair, the more I want that chair. But nevertheless, I don't have any place to put it, so I have no reason for it. But these Primrose mirrors, they are a find. So if you can find one on the pre-loved market, I definitely say snatch it up. They're very expensive otherwise, but they are great to add to any room. And whether or not it's this particular one or any type, one that you may find at Home Goods, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, at home, what have you, these mirrors make a big difference in making your room look larger. Next up is wall coverings. Whether you are doing a wallpaper, an accent wall, or a textured wall, these type of additions to your space will make them look luxurious and larger. So here's an example. Even though this is a black example of a black wall, it looks so luscious. And even though the space may not look super huge, it's going to look like it has more depth, because you have then put in an accent wall in a fabrication. So this one is absolutely stunning. If black isn't your thing, there are others available. I'll just keep popping up pictures, but they are so wonderful. When you are looking for ways to enhance your space, you want to create an illusion that you have done a lot of customization to your space without it being cost prohibitive. And it is very affordable now to wallpaper, to paint an accent wall, or to do some kind of a textured wall with just supplies that you find on Amazon and at your local Home Depot or Lowe's. So if you're looking to make that space look larger, concentrate on one wonderful wall and do it up as best you can. Okay, now we're going to get into the furniture that you select for your space, and that is sometimes a challenge. We may need lots of storage, or we may need a certain size bed, but it doesn't fit into the space that we have. So we have to really be mindful of picking furniture pieces that do not dwarf your space. So you want to pick pieces that are proportionately sized for the space that you have available to you. So this is an example, my God, of furniture that does not adequately fit the space for multiple reasons. Those armchairs are just too large in scale for the small little couch love seat that they have available. The proportions are off. The armchairs are just dwarfing that couch. And so you want to pick armchairs, couches that are proportionate to the space that you have and proportionate to each other, so that they don't look ill-placed. You could do lighter colors, that sometimes will help. Neutral colors always help. But be mindful. If you want your space to look larger, don't pick furniture that's really too big for your space. Another way that you can make your room appear larger is to use hidden space. I have a video, I'll link it in the cards, that talks about sneaky ways to organize your home. And one of them is sneaky ways to store things without them being in plain sight. So you can find ways to store things that you need every day without them becoming part of the focal point of a room. So you could use baskets to store things that are covered so that they look like small tables versus storage baskets. You can use ottomans that are storage ottomans, and they also will double as extra seating in your room. You can just eliminate a lot of the things that you see sitting around by coming up with storage options. Perhaps your sofa will have storage in it. Your ottoman will have storage in it. A built-in shelf will have additional storage in it. You want to find pieces that allow you to have sneaky places to hide things, but they still are airy enough that they don't dwarf your room and make your room look smaller. So definitely, to make your room look larger, look for sneaky storage solutions in your furniture. For small spaces that you want to look large, focus on one large piece of wall art versus a whole smattering of small pieces. One large piece will dominate the wall and look way more rich, luxe, and pulled together than if you went with several smaller pieces on the same wall. You also want to focus that piece in an area of the room where it's just limited to just that one piece being the main focal piece. It's okay to leave some of your walls blank It is okay. There doesn't have to be something on every wall. So it's okay to leave some of the walls blank, but if you want that full scale feeling of a larger room in a smaller space, get one larger piece and just go with that, and then leave all of the surfaces and everything else around it kind of clutter free, and you'll see that you will have a gorgeous wall art that has a prominent focus in the room. And my last tip is declutter. Try to make it a habit to declutter your cabinets, closets, and any other spaces in your home every 6 months. If you're good, you're doing it every 3. But at a minimum, every 6 months, go through everything, see what you're actually utilizing, what you need. I do it with my pantry quite frequently because you don't want to buy food and not use it. And it's the same with your furniture and your accessories. Just go through, look through your home, look at your living room, bedroom, living spaces, and make sure that everything in that room serves a purpose, whether it's sentimental or functional, and that it brings some joy to your life, because why live in a space that you don't love? So here's a tip from Love Your Space, Love Your Space. All right, kids, that's it. Those are all of your tips. Now go, run, look at your spaces and fall in love with them all over again as you declutter, organize, and situate those rooms so that they look as large as possible. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comments box. And if you have any suggestions to help anyone else that watches this video on how to make their smaller space look larger, drop those down there as well. Let's get the conversation popping. Look forward to talking to you all again next time. Bye.